Hi, this is EOS, and today we're going to be talking about a free plugin by Valhalla called Supermassive, which just got a new update, 1.5.0, including these two new modes right here, Cassiopeia and Orion. And we're going to go through these two modes as well as set up some randomization techniques to experiment and discover new things with this plugin. Okay, so Cassiopeia, if we hover over this, or if we switch to Cassiopeia, there we go. Orion, fast attack, sparse initial echoes that build up quickly, long decays with higher density settings. And then Cassiopeia is sparse initial, fast attack, and then high echo density over time. So let's just hear the difference between these two. And then same settings on Orion. Might add an LFO to that in a little bit. Let's turn this to okay. Now let's set up a randomization template. There's a lot of, it's easy to get really nice sounds out of this plugin, but sometimes you kind of end up doing the same thing, and this kind of helps you break out of that. So I'm going to map mix to 16, low cut to 14, and high cut to 15. And that's going to give these controls, I'm going to right click on and say exclude from randomization, because I want to be able to control those myself. You could randomize them, but I find it's more helpful not to. So then we're just going to go ahead and map all of these other parameters to the first macros in here. And I think you can see where this is going. We're going to use the randomize button and switch around what's going on. Width, mode, and then these ones look like they're reserved for parameters that they're going to be adding in the future. So now that we've got this, let's hear what our original sound sounded like. Now let's hit random. And once you've used the random, you can kind of quickly go through and change some of these settings to make it sound like how you want. So oftentimes I may try with and without the warp, which if you're wondering which knob it is, that's the mod rate. Delay warp right here. And then we can just go through and continually fool around with this until we find something that we like. And again, say we just want to experiment with the new modes. We can exclude the mode from randomization and select using this. So if you go all the way far, it goes back to Gemini, it looks like. So you do have to pay attention. Let's go to Cassiopeia. Maybe a bit too much feedback. Let's use the stop button. Doesn't seem to be actually functioning on this, but so we could take this further and start using LFOs on some of these. And And since we're set on 1/16 here, maybe let's try 1/8 on here, so twice as long. Not nearly long enough. Let's go to like a half note. You can kind of hear it getting wider and less wide. And then we can duplicate this, clear out that, and let's go to random. Bring this back down to 0, and I'm going to map this to the actual delay time. And we could change the speed of this too, and then record what's going on here with the randomization as a audio file. Or what we could do is say that we're starting to like how this is going. I'm finding that, say, like a quarter note's too much. Say like once every 1.5 measures I want it to change. And I kind of like, without recording, maybe write a little piece. And then I might go back in and remove this completely, and then just go in the grid, and if you turn on automation here, and we move this. Oh, we're getting a weird thing going on. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna right-click that and say Show Automation in a new lane. So now we could write an automation that would change. Let's open back up the plugin so we can see where we're at. So maybe we'll just write something non-specific to start, which is another great way to experiment. Bypassing can be a great way to clean up the mix, especially stuff under like 300 hertz oftentimes is a little bit too messy. And if I bring in an EQ8 before this, maybe, we can see that the fundamental pitch of this is actually way up here. So in general, it'll clean up our sound to high pass it. And then this is telling me that maybe I just want to include the harmonics. We're going to play an E note, which we see is right there. So I'm going to move the high pass to 800 so that it's only echoing everything but the fundamental. Which, without the fundamental even in the track. Let's actually do it at 1,000 just to make sure. So super cool plugin. It's free. I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope maybe you can use one of these techniques to get creative in your tracks.